What's up, Kernels? Welcome back to Popcorn Slimes. My name is Michelle, and today I will be reviewing OG Slimes. I'm super excited for this because I have ordered from them before, but it was two minis that really were just kind of a side order, so this is my first full OG experience. This has also been a highly requested shop, so I know you guys are looking forward to this as well. Let's get into the video. Starting with the shipping and packaging, my slimes came in 5 days from order time, which I thought was insanely fast. I was really impressed. When I opened the box, there was some packing peanuts, and all of the slimes were either bubble wrapped or in this plastic container that was associated with the extras they went with, which I love, because if you've not known me, I'm notorious for mixing up mix-ins. I ordered a total of 4 slimes from this shop and was so excited to try it out. Here's what everything looked like all together. I got a really cool sticker pack from them, stapled to the business card, which I thought was super awesome. I also got candy and this big bottle of activator spray, which I thought was super generous and so nice to have. All 4 of my slimes came with their add-ins, which were either in a deli container or another OG slime container, which is a blessing because a lot of these were clays, which you know you're going to need overflow for. Also, I was just in love with these dome containers. They're so cute and beautiful. The logo is awesome. I was just super impressed with the shipping. Getting into the first slime I ordered, it was Fruity Pebbles Milk Tea. This is a DIY slime that comes with a clay scoop to put on top and this beautiful, thick and glossy white base. I love white slime because it is just so pretty. It looks really beautiful when you play with it, and this one was no exception. As I started to play with this slime, I can tell it was thick. It did rip a little bit on me at first, but it was also super cold in my house, so that could have been part of the reason. As I began to stretch it a little bit more, it definitely became stretchier and didn't feel like it was going to rip as much, but it still had that glossy and thickness, which is super impressive because usually you can't have it both ways. The base of this slime was scented like Fruity Pebbles and not like the Captain Crunch or Fruit Loops scents that are usually used. It was like true Fruity Pebbles. It smelled so good, and like, I don't know if you guys have ever tried Fruity Pebbles, but they're definitely different than like Fruit Loops. There's just a little bit more sweetness behind it, and this smelled so good. This is a DIY slime which came with this clay piece scoop that came in a completely separate extra container. It was covered in some beautiful glitter, and going back to the container, that is just so great. I feel so blessed because obviously there's going to be inflation with this slime when you add in the clay, and it's not going to fit back in its original container. So having this in mind for the customer is so nice. Additionally, it is a milk tea theme, so it came with 3 little boba balls and a clear to go on top. The clear it came with was this orange slime. I think there might have been the littlest amount of snow in there. It definitely felt like borderline jelly. It was super nice and also scented like Fruity Pebbles. I used the clear slime to make somewhat of a drizzle on top. If you've seen my other videos, I'm just not cute. Drizzles are hard for me, but it did come with this adorable little spoon that I could not get over, and when it was all assembled, it was adorable. Mixing this slime was a super fun experience. That clay piece on top was super soft and mixed really nicely into the base. I will say that after I took the slime out and began to incorporate that clay a little bit more, it became stiff. I was a little worried about this because as I pulled it, it just started to stiffen up and feel very clay heavy, and not great. I'm not sure if it was the temperature of my room or what was going on, but after incorporating it a little bit more, it did smooth out. However, it did change the style of play for this slime. I'm really not sure if it was just like a combination of the base and the clay reacting together, but it made it kind of chubby and a little bit thicker, so you had to slow stretch or else it would rip. Regardless, I still had fun mixing this slime. I loved the glitter inside. You can see it come through in the slime a little bit. And after I inflated this slime, it became beautifully sizzly. Going back to this slime now, I would say it's perfect. It is my favorite texture and consistency. It doesn't have that thick foamy feel of a rip anymore. It's just a beautiful DIY clay. Despite it being a little dense at first, I was able to inflate the slime a lot, as you can see, and I can still get it super inflated now. I will say that the beads don't stay in this texture super well. There's only 3 of them, so it's not really that much of a concern, but I did send one flying across my room, so that is something that I would note about this slime. So I had a hard time rating this slime because I really liked it, but it did have that density and thickness issue at the start, but that was resolved. So again, I'm going back and forth, and what I've landed on is that this slime gets 4.8 out of 5 popcorns. Next up is Cookie Milk Tea Float. As I'm editing this right now, I just realized that I got 2 tea milk themed slimes from this shop, which is totally fine. They were different in their own ways, and yeah, you'll see. Let's get into this one. So like I said, this one is also a DIY clay. It had this brownish white base that looked just like milk and coffee. It was such a cool like mocha cookie crumble look. I really enjoyed the little brownie pieces, and this one smelled so good. I don't know guys, it smelled just like an Oreo milkshake from like Chick-fil-A specifically. It was so sweet but so cookies and cream, and I was shook by how realistic this one is. I continued to open it and smell it, and it still smells so good and so real. I can't. As you can see, the base was kind of this chubby, thick, and glossy. I think there was some clay added in, and it was a little bit hard to stretch at first too, with just some density. Again, I think it could have just happened in transit or been my room, but it felt really nice, and honestly, I enjoyed the base on its own. This was a DIY, however, so I did assemble this slime. For the DIY aspect, this came with a scoop of what looked like cookies and cream ice cream to put on top. I really liked the label on this slime. I thought it was so cute that it mimicked the Starbucks labels, and I thought that it brought the whole theme together really nicely. Just like the Fruity Pebbles, this clay was also super soft. It crumbled so nicely into that base, and it felt really good those first couple of pokes. However, just like the Fruity Pebbles, as I began to incorporate that clay, I felt the slime kind of seize up and dense a lot. It became really thick and almost foamy. As you can see when I pull, it became really hard to stretch. So again, I started to be really concerned that this slime was not going to be all that I thought it would be. When I held it, it was definitely more of like a heavy dough feeling. You can see when I squish it, it doesn't move a lot. And I would say that it was even more so clay heavy than the Fruity Pebbles. However, I continued to work with this slime doing slow pulls, mixing that clay in because I knew the Fruity Pebbles did get better. Just like the Fruity Pebbles, after a while of stretching and inflating, this slime did puff up nicely. It still was super thick and ripped. You had to be kind of slow to play with it, but it felt really nice and foamy when you got it nice and puffy. Additionally, again, just like the Fruity Pebbles, after this sat for a day or two, it became the perfect consistency. I am in love with this slime now. This slime was really great overall. The scent is what sold me. It smelled so realistic. I could hold this and smell it all day. It was fantastic. I was a little let down by the intense clay density, but like I said, that kind of resolved itself. I will say that playing with this at first was a little tough on my joints, so if you have sensitive joints, this probably needed to sit a little bit before you can play with it. However, I'll say again that after it sat, it became so nice. Overall, I'm going to go back and forth again on the rating because it did turn into such a fantastic slime, but upon opening it, it was a little bit clay heavy and hard to stretch. So I'm going to give this one 4.7 out of 5 popcorns. The next slime is Banana Cream Pie. This is a cloud-based slime that came with some clay bananas to add in to your banana cream pie. Right away, the smell is so good. I was really impressed with how realistic it was. It didn't smell like an artificial or candy-like banana. It was just really good. It smelled just like a banana pudding or a banana cream pie. The texture of this slime did make it stick a little bit more to the container, but I was able to navigate that and get most of it out. So I have a love-hate relationship with cloud slimes because they can be really fun and sizzly, but I absolutely hate snow fallout, and with a cloud slime, there's gonna be snow fallout on your hands. Like, there's just no way around it. This one was such a pretty color and it stretched really nicely that I kind of forgot that I hated the snow that was under my nails. It was super creamy. It almost borderlined like a cloud cream. It became super flaky and inflatable when you played with it. It puffed up into a very nice cloud slime that was really spreadable and just enjoyable. There was a little bit of a wet residue to it, kind of like you get with an icy, but it wasn't that bad. With my banana cream pie DIY, I got a deli container for the overflow, thank you so much, some banana Fimos, some banana clay pieces, and some clay whip topping. Okay, I'm not gonna brag, but I was really proud of how this turned out. I thought it looked so cute, and usually I can't do anything cute, so I was like, dang, you really nailed it. Again, this clay was so soft. It blended really nicely into the base, almost too nicely. I will say that, like, even after those first pokes before I took it out of the container to mix, it almost dissolved completely into the cloud. And because the texture of this cloud was somewhat cloud cream to start with, you couldn't really feel the clay mixed in. Like, it kind of did a Houdini and just disappeared. That's not necessarily a bad thing for me. I liked the experience of mixing and seeing it go in because it was that white and yellow color. You didn't really get to see it go in and you couldn't really feel it either. Although it was still fun because it has the DIY aspect and you do get to mix it. The clay chunks were that blessing in disguise that I was looking for before to make it a little bit more of a cloud cream, and it turned into this nice, beautiful cloud cream texture. I loved squishing and squeezing this slime. It spread through my fingers in like a nice way. It was a little wet, but I didn't mind that. Like, it felt good. And these stretches I was able to get made some really subtle sizzles. I tried my best to fix the audio so that you can hear those beautiful sizzles. Let me know if you can hear them or not. I'm still learning to edit and make these videos for you guys, so if you have any tips, go ahead and drop them below for me on how I can make those sounds even better for you. Overall, I was really impressed because generally I'm either like, nope, didn't like this cloud, I can see how other people liked it, or I do like them and I can get into it. I think because of the cloud cream texture and the added DIY aspect, along with the fact that this scent is so good, really made me enjoy this slime, and I keep coming back to it, which is kind of rare for me for clouds. I don't usually play with them very much, but this one I have opened again and again. So for all of the reasons I have mentioned before, I have decided to give this slime 5 out of 5 popcorns. Last but certainly not least is birthday cake cookie. I ordered this one specifically because I knew it would come right around my birthday, and I actually played with it on my birthday, so it was very exciting for me to assemble. The base of this slime was a white, thick and glossy, similar to the one that came with the Fruity Pebbles. However, it was a little less thick. There was definitely some more movement to it, and I loved it. Based on the thickness, I would say that maybe this was a glue-all base. It definitely chubbed up even with just the littlest bit of play and inflation. And I don't know, it was just so good. It was still glossy and thick and gave off really nice, deep bubble pops. Additionally, in this base were some fake sprinkles added in. The white base of this slime was scented just like fresh buttercream. It smelled like a bakery to me. It was very good. It was definitely a strong vanilla buttercream scent, but it was delicious. So I really liked the base on its own, honestly. Like, I could have played with that base for a really long time, but I wanted to make my birthday cookie. I got the cutest little vanilla yellow looking clay cake cookie in a deli container, and it came with a birthday candle. Guys, I am literally crying because I made a wish on this birthday candle and I love it. Again, just like the others, this clay was so soft. I really liked the casual yellow mixing into the white base. It became kind of this pastel yellow, which was very beautiful and reminded me of birthday cake. I was a little hesitant as I started mixing because, as you know, the other ones started to seize up as I mixed that clay in. I didn't have as much of a problem with this one. I'm wondering if the base was just a little less activated than the other ones. It definitely was still thick and definitely chubby, a slow pull, but it wasn't as clay dense as those other ones. This slime continues to be a great consistency. I was a little worried that I would need a little more activator than the other ones, since the other ones did like come to perfect consistency. However, I have not needed to activate this one at all, and I love it. I played with it all on my birthday and all through my birth week. Yes, I believe in a birth week. If you guys don't treat yourself to a birth week, you should. Like, you matter. Like, treat yourself. It became so puffy and chubby and sizzly. It was so thick in my hands. I was absolutely in love. I'm pretty sure I got this one to double its size, and had I played with it for just a little bit longer, I know that it would have been like triple its size. I have no complaints about this slime. I think it's a perfect slime for this shop to keep in stock all year round, and if someone gifted me this as a birthday slime, I would be over the moon. If you haven't already guessed, this slime is going to get 5 out of 5 popcorns. So that is it for my OG slime shop experience. I had all DIY slimes, which I just realized from this order, and they were all really good. I understand the hype. I loved this shop. Like always, thank you guys so much for watching. You make this possible. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And go ahead and drop a comment below about what you would think of getting this slime for your birthday. Keep popping, Kernels, and I will see you in the next one.